Give him a little bit of time. What up, fam?
Hello, good evening. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. How you doing, my friend?
Pretty good. I'm pretty good.
It's cold out there, man.
It's so cold.
It is
It's so
so
cold.
freaking cold.
Is
My
that
kids
music
are.
going on in the background the whole time we're talking? Because it's gonna distract me.
All right, I'll stop it. I just
It's
like
like
the
hold
music.
music. It's like weird
All
elevator music. I don't
right.
like it.
I bet. All right, guys, we're gonna give y'all a couple more seconds to join here real quick. We got an impromptu mastermind that we want to kind of bring you guys' way. So hop on. Matter of fact, I am going to share. Let's make sure I do this right. Um,
Yeah,
I
add
am
the
going to
link.
share the link down in here real quick.
Add the link. Y'all want to get hyped tonight? You want to hop on here? You want to talk? You want to chat? You want to complain? You want to ask some questions? Like Sasha's gonna put the link so you guys can get on here and talk live with us.
All right, so if you want to jump on live, you can. There it is, right there. I just posted it in the group, in the Money Badger group, real quick, and let me go post on my YouTube channel as well for anybody who jumps on from the YouTube channel.
Wow, like come on. We want to
All
talk
right,
tonight.
let's go ahead and get into this. Now, remember, if you are joining us here on StreamYard and you want to be able to put your chat and your information out there and your comments, you need to go ahead and jump on and join the StreamYard so we can actually see who you are. Otherwise, it just says Facebook user 321, and I have no idea who I'm talking to. Okay, so here's the deal. Here's the deal, man. Okay, check this out, guys. It is February 23rd. Okay, 2022. What does that mean? What does that really truly mean? Fam, I don't think a lot of people get what that means. If
That means
you
your Q1 is done.
done, over, it's over. If
Done.
you
Q1 is
don't
over.
write something this week when it's butt freaking cold, guess what? You're not closing anything else at the end in March, unless you're doing
Shell
cash
Gray
deals.
said link. Shell Gray wants the link, I guess, to hop onto the into the conversation.
Who wants that link?
Shell Gray from YouTube.
Okay. Cheryl. Oh, you probably on the. Okay, let me get on my other YouTube channel. I'm sure you're on the other YouTube channel. Let me go ahead and get you on that one. All right, hold up. I got one channel too many, my friend. You know how they go. So we'll get that over to you, Cheryl, in 1 second here.
Yeah,
So
guys,
here's.
Sasha wanted
Go
to
ahead.
chat tonight. Did you want me to start chatting since you're putting
Go
that link in
go
for
ahead.
me?
Let me get this link out. You do your thing.
Yeah, Sasha wanted to chat tonight just about simplifying your business and just kind of like where you are and just have like a mindset chat. And I've been doing a lot of mindset work and a lot of reading, and I think he's spot on right now with the problem with a lot of people. Guys, we have so many tools and we have so much information and we have so much training and it's so much stuff out there that I think and Sasha thinks that everyone has just gotten paralyzed with all of this shit that's out there and no one's using anything. Everyone's
Way
consuming,
too much.
no one is using any of it and applying it, implementing it into their business. And so Sasha and I were talking the other day, and he was like, look, it boils down to just a couple of things. If they just simplify it to these few actions and just do these actions consistently every single day, everyone can just shut the hell up and their business will be good. So that's kind of what all of this is that he wanted to talk about simplifying your business and just boiling it down to the nuts and bolts and fundamentals of what you need to do to just shut up and stop whining and stop
Right.
consuming all this content and all of these tools and you're not using any of this shit. Go back to the basics, and Sasha is the king of that. So I thought it was really good.
Thank you, fam. Thank you. So here's the deal, guys. My phone's been blowing up with people asking me the exact same questions. Hey, Sasha, let me try Bomb Bomb. Hey, Sasha, what about Real Geeks? Hey, Sasha, what tool you use for Z for sellers for Z buyer for this? Ah, do something. Just do something. Do one thing and do it well and do
Right.
it hard. The problem is you guys are trying to do every single thing under the sun, and you're trying to be. If you're a brand new agent, I see so many new agents trying to go from being a brand new agent to try to catch up with somebody who's been doing this for 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
Understand, I built my system over 5 years. It is not something that's just 100% easily duplicated unless you buy it from me. Okay. Here's the deal. Let's simplify what you're doing. And there's lots of ways of doing that. So let's first things first, let's kind of just go over what the issue is first, because we're seeing this by a lot of people. We're going to go through just a couple slides, guys, but we really want to get some conversation going here, okay? And I'm trying to check these comments as we go. All right, Cheryl, I just put the link out there. Hopefully you can get on there real quick. So let me know, Cheryl.
Yeah, if you want to hop on and chat with us, you got something to say, we're ready to hear it.
Yeah,
And
and
guys, if
we'll coach
you
you right here.
disagree, if you
Yeah,
disagree, then hop on and come and air your grievance out. Or if you
but you
just
better
need some
bring it.
help, hop on.
You better bring it. So real quick, here's the deal. All right. So we're going to go over three things and three things only. The market issues. We're going to talk about your mindset and having no excuses. And number three, we're going to talk about simplifying the business. That's it. That's it. We're not going to get too deep into anything else. Let's jump right on into this whole thing. So what's wrong with the market, guys? I want you guys to put that in the chat. What is wrong with the market? Because I'm hearing a lot of people complain about the market right now, saying how the market is just not really working out that well. You know, we have no inventory, right? Anybody's market different from ours, where you have a bunch of inventory? Does anyone in America have a bunch of inventory right now?
No,
Right?
hell no. There is no inventory.
No, none whatsoever. All right.
So there's no inventory. Interest rates are going up and they're higher.
Right. Influx of cash, buyers buying up everything.
Those people are
Right.
falling from the sky. I don't even know where
Right.
they're coming from.
Right. And I don't even have leads. These are the
Right.
things I'm hearing the most. What else are you guys seeing out there? I want to know what you guys are seeing. I'm trying to watch these comments here coming from Facebook and all over at the same time here.
Yeah, I mean, so far I see somebody said, "Hey y'all, hey, we don't know who you are though, because it just says Facebook user. So make sure to click the button and register so that it'll pop your name up when you make a
All right,
comment."
we got a Facebook user say they're guilty. I don't know whoever you are, but you're guilty. That's fine. You're guilty. We're all guilty. So let's just talk about it real quick. Like, all right, so how you hide these suckers? One too many. Here's the deal. Everybody's market is the same. It is tough out there. Boo hoo, go cry me a river. You better step it up. Are you a real estate agent? Are you going to whine about this thing, or are you going to make this happen? Is this your business? Number one. Okay. Number one. Hold up. All right. Let's talk about you being mentally strong enough, right? You know, how do you view the market? Who out there is saying how tough and how difficult the market is? I talk about that just a little bit, but
I
not a
feel like
whole lot.
everybody thinks that the market is tough right now. And so kind of going back to the last slides, like what are some of the problems that you're seeing? I hear a lot of people say buyers and you know, people aren't wanting to jump out into the market. They think right now is a horrible time to buy. Like, guys, people also thought, okay, so right now they think it's a horrible time to buy because inventory is so low and interest rates are kind of going up and prices are high, right? So the exact opposite of this market was what? 2008, 2009, right? Like when the market had basically crashed, we had a ton of inventory because there were tons of foreclosures, interest rates were down. So it was the total opposite of what it is now. There weren't multiple offer situations. And people back then in that same market said that it was a bad market to buy. So like, you guys are literally succumbing to just the bullshit excuses that people are always going to say it's a bad market. The sky is always going to be falling for people that have a loser ass mindset. Like the sky is not falling. This is still a good market to buy. It's a good time to buy because guys, things are just going up. It's not just going to drastically fall. It may level out eventually. But understanding like how you view the market versus the consumer, are you thinking the same thing as them? You know, and that's something that I see a lot of real estate professionals falling prey to is acting like they don't have more information and insight into the market than the average consumer. And they're saying and parroting the same thing that a consumer that's just been on Google thinks.
Fam. You're saying something. You're saying something. Girl, okay, story time. Let's stay with right there what Fam was talking about. How you view the market and how you treat your buyers in said market is going to dictate what's going to happen in your business. Here's a good example. At my open house this past weekend, I had one Saturday, had one Monday. I saw agents coming in, stayed in the cut, talk about the market a little bit, and they were pushing things and talking to the clients. But I also saw agents coming through doing this number here, looking at the table, looking at the countertop, pointing out every chip, every crack in the wall, every this. They were their buyer's own worst enemy.
They're the buyer's problem.
And in an open house, we're in an open house, y'all. Let me be very clear. I had 70 plus families on Saturday. Okay. All right. Open house was so lit. People stole some stuff out these people's house. It made me mad. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm looking at these agents doing this. I'm like,
You're
that's how I'm
sabotaging
looking at
your own
them. I'm
business.
looking at them like how your mama looks at you when you've messed up and you know you did something wrong.
Like, why are you
Child,
sabotaging your
please.
business?
And then you want to try to have a 15-minute conversation with me about the foundation, about the roof, about that. Do you not understand what market you're in? It
Right.
is one thing. It is one thing to advocate for your buyer, but it's another thing to commiserate, guys, with the market, with them, like you do not have the information.
Right.
They don't have the information. You are a freaking realtor. You have
Yep.
stats on title. You have stats on the MLS. You are armed with everything you need to do to overcome every objection and let them know it's a good market buying it. This house looks good. But don't come thinking that you're going to go 10,000 over, barely that, and then you're going to ask for $15,000 worth of repairs. This is not
It's not
that
the
market.
market.
And
Yeah.
if you're
Phil
afraid,
says, what about income?
what about?
Did you
Well,
see that question?
we'll get to that. But here's the thing: if you're afraid to challenge your buyer's thinking, you're going to lose that buyer because you're going to have that buyer out there way too long. The market's
Yep.
going to outprice them, and they're going to go to the next agent that finally tells them, "Ma'am, it don't work that way. It
Yep.
don't work that way."
And they're
I
going to get
can't tell you how many
fatigued
buyers
and they're
we
going to
told,
quit.
"This is not how this works." Well, can we start and work our way up? I'm like, no. I said, look at this open house. We're going to have 50 offers. So you
Yep.
think that we're going to sit there and talk to people who are at 5,000, 10,000 over? There's a number, and we're going to say below that number, we're not having a conversation. Educate your buyers accordingly. You are harming your buyer if you don't challenge them and push them. Now, there's somebody income. If they don't have it, Shell, if they don't have it, that's understandable.
Right.
Everyone doesn't have it. Then you need to shop them in the price range where they are the big fish.
Right.
Okay. For example, if your buyer is only pre-approved for $300,000 and you're trying to shop them at $300,000, you know you can't get a house at $300,000 if
You
it's
need to be
listed
at
at
250.
250. Say that again.
You need to be at 250.
250, where they are the big dogs.
Right.
Okay. You got them out there at 350 in a $300,000 price point that you know is going to go 330, 350.
That's the
They're
starting
a
point.
guppy, right? And they're guppy swimming with sharks. Don't do
Yeah,
that to your
that's
buyer.
the starting point now.
Don't do
That's
that.
so true. So really, Shell, it's more about strategy. So the income thing, it's all strategy.
It really
Um,
is. All right, let's keep going, man. Let's talk about this. Are you working hard enough?
no, they're not. Nope,
No.
I can answer. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Who
They're
who
not.
who says they're working hard enough? Anybody?
I
Anybody
think
out
I'm
there says
working
they're
hard
working hard
enough.
enough right now?
I think I'm working hard enough.
I know I work. I work my butt off. I'm up every night, 2 o'clock. I'm running a team. I'm mentoring. I'm coaching agents. I work around the clock. And it's not that I want to keep doing that, guys, but I'm hungry. I go to bed tired and I wake up famished. This world is my buffet, and I'm ready to eat every single day.
Absolutely.
Priscilla right here is on here. She's on my team. She'll tell you guys, I'm ready to eat, and I'm gonna push you. Are you pushing yourself? Are you working hard enough? If you're only making 15 calls a day, shame on you.
You are not
Shame on you.
working.
Don't come to me asking me to coach you, to push you to go harder, and to push you to do more, and you only calling 10, 15 people.
No, you're
You
not.
already
You're not
know it's
working.
not enough.
And it's what we always say, Sasha. Would you pay you for what you're doing? Think about what you did today and act like you were on somebody's job. Would they actually pay you for that? Or better yet, because you are the owner of your own business, would you actually pay yourself a salary for what the hell you did today? Would you pay you $35 an hour for what you did today? Would you pay you
I'll tell you.
$50, $100 an hour? I know the answer is no because you didn't do nothing.
Right.
So, you got to really start framing what work means for you, and also the difference between being busy and being productive. And I think agents get
100%.
that part messed up too. I hear a lot of new agents say, I'm doing all the things. Like they say I need to make calls, and they say I need to work on my database, and I went to this training class, but like everything that they check off that they've done for the day, like none of it actually is income producing. None of it is anything that can actually pay a bill. So like really you didn't do anything. That shit that you were talking about that you did, you should have just been listening to a podcast, like listening to that training class in the car on the way to talk to somebody that can make you some money in the future. But
Exactly.
instead you replaced doing having that conversation with sitting in that training thinking that it was going to train you into the confidence that quite frankly nobody can instill in you but yourself.
And
But
that,
don't let
I'm
me get
sorry,
on that
that's
soapbox.
the problem. People get stuck in the train and blame game. I'm
Yeah.
training, I'm training, I'm training. I'm in my office and I'm sitting here and I'm training and I went to this about KV Core, then I went to this about a contract, and I learned this about Facebook, but you didn't do any of it.
You didn't do any
That's
of
the
it.
problem.
And you
If
haven't
you're not
talked to
doing
anybody.
any of it, it is
Right.
not helping you. Okay.
Right.
Let me just say this. Before real estate, I was a healthcare guy that used to fix processes. All right. An organization can only take so much change. What you have to do is test the change, study that change, stabilize it, and improve it. So, how much change can you take as an individual trying to become a brand new realtor or a realtor who's trying to reach a new level and level up before you know if it's working? Great example, open houses. I can't tell you how many people say open houses don't work. No, you don't work at open houses. That's the
Right.
truth, because
Right.
I left my open house, and as soon as I left that open house on Saturday, I did one listing presentation right after it signed that particular listing, picked up six more buyers, and I did another listing presentation the day after that. So I picked up two more listings in that neighborhood, plus I picked up more buyers. And then my girl Vaughn, she went there on Monday and she picked up eight buyers. And as soon as she left the open house, she went and shopped a buyer who came in right now, and she actually is writing a contract as we speak.
That's awesome.
No, you don't work open houses; they work. Chauncey
Right.
has said this many times. Everything works, and everything doesn't work. The question is, how do you implement it? That's
Yep.
it.
It
So that
is.
brings to point number four. Is your business. Who owns that business? Are you treating it like a business? Do you have the right partners in your business? That means that you have the right lenders. Do you have the right title company? Do you have the right inspection crew around you? Do you have the right mentors? Are you with the right brokerage, for crying out loud? If you do not have the support around you and people who are willing to get in your face and tell you you are bullshitting today and you're not getting the work done, you're
Right.
not around the right people. Okay.
100%.
One thing that CP and I do is we check each other all the time.
Well,
When
and I
I'm
think
doing
that
too much,
that's a big part of our community and our group. I think I think a lot of teams and a lot of brokerages spend time coddling agents for fear of losing them, right? They don't ever
correct.
really want to tell people the truth or challenge them because they're afraid that if they come off too harsh, that then they will lose them. And I am of the mindset that I am never going to love you to failure. Like, I ain't gonna do it. Like, I'm not gonna
No,
love on you to failure. Like, I'm not gonna make you feel good for the sake of feeling good and you ain't doing shit. Like, the whole point of what we're doing is to help build each other up and build businesses. And if I'm lying to you and just making you feel good about doing nothing, am I really doing my job? And so that's something I really take pride in, and I think something that you do well too in terms of holding your team accountable. Is really just like being honest with each other about what we're doing, and when we're not doing anything, calling each other out and challenging that. So
yeah.
that's a big part of my business model.
Iron sharpens iron, man.
Oh yeah,
And it
definitely.
goes back to what I said. If you are sitting around a water cooler, you know what I'm saying, fam, and
Right.
all you do is talk to other broke agents, and all you do is talk to other agents who aren't selling and talk about how bad it is or how the training it is, that's it. I'm gonna tell you right now. I call these agents broken birds. And if this
Mhm.
is hitting you hard, you might be a broken bird. And I'm not trying to
Right.
be disrespectful. But if you have hopped around from brokerage to brokerage to brokerage and you haven't sold anything, if you didn't say anything at KW, if you didn't sell anything at Remax, if you didn't sell anything at Coldwell Banker, if you're not selling anything at EXP, there's one common denominator in that situation,
Right.
and that's you. And I can say that to you because here's the thing: when I wasn't truly serious about my business, I was not getting the results that I wanted. And when I got super serious about my business, I got the results that I wanted and more. And then I
So
got
how do
around
they
other people who
simplify it
challenged me.
though? Because I think that's
How do
something
we
that a lot of people can't wrap their heads around, right? Like we said, you guys go to the trainings, you do all the things, you hear about all the things, but then your brain gets all jumbled up because you know all of this stuff, you have all of these tools at your fingertips, but then you get frozen almost in fear with what to do moving forward. So like what would you say are the basics that we kind of talked about the other day to really like just simplify the business on what they need to do?
I'm gonna give you guys a real simple challenge. One buyer, one seller a day challenge. Very, very simple. Here's the deal. And my team and I are starting to do this at this point right now. And we're already starting to see the results. I've already seen the results in my own what I've been doing for the past 2 weeks with this. Send one buyer, just one buyer a day to your preferred lender to get pre-approved. Whether they get pre-approved or not, you need to send one buyer every single day. Now, that means this. If you have to talk to 5 buyers to make that done, get that done, talk to 5. If you got to talk to 20 buyers to get that done, talk to 20. If it requires you to talk to 100, then talk to 100. Because if you're having that many conversations and you're not getting to the meaningful conversation of getting pre-approved to buy a home, you're not helping that person move down the path. It's very simple. You get a buyer lead in, you call them, you identify them, you get their needs, you get their home profile. At that point, you need to be sending them over to a lender to get pre-approved. I don't care if they're not buying a house for 6 months. I don't care if they're not buying a house for a year. Let them start the process so they can get a better understanding of the process. And if they do, if they can't get pre-approved, they'll learn what they don't have going on and they can fix that. But if you wait 2 months before they're supposed to start getting out their lease, guess what happens? Now they got credit issues that they didn't know about and they don't have enough time to do it. And they're scrambling for 2 months. They re-sign that lease and you just lost a potential buyer who's probably going to price themselves out of the market.
Oh,
One
100%.
buyer a day. They scrambling for 2 months. They re-sign that lease.
Sorry, that was me.
No worries. Number 2, send one CMA to a seller every single day. Just one. Just one. Once again, if you got to go talk to 5 people, 10 people, 15, 100, get one over. If you do that every single day, let's look at that. Monday through Friday, 4 weeks in a month. That means you just sent over 20 buyers to a preferred lender to get pre-approved. And you just sent off 20 CMAs to sellers. That's 40 leads in a month that you have pushed down the path towards getting done. Let's just stick with the buyers. If you do those 40 buyers like that, okay, let's say you get 5 of them pre-approved. That's 5 buyers that you didn't have before the beginning of the month that you can now start shopping.
Yep.
And so if you did one a day, that means let's go with 1 out of 5 getting pre-approved. You got one buyer every single week that you could potentially get a deal out of, and you can help get into a home. Simple.
It's that simple, y'all.
Really
Like it's
that
that
simple.
simple. And everything else that everyone is teaching and all of these tools that you see and all of the stuff that's out there, it's just to help you ultimately get to this. Like generating the leads, whether you're buying them from Zillow or ZBuyer, or they're coming in through your KV Core website or pay-per-click ads or whatever the case may be. Ultimately, the goal is to sift through all of those people coming to you so that you can send at least one buyer or as many of them to a lender as possible, to identify as many sellers as you can to get their contact info and get them off the fence on being able to sell, which the way that you do that is to run an analysis and let them know what they could sell their house for. And then, like you said, shop a buyer in your database daily. So that's sending them out some houses or taking them out to look at some properties, but actually like shopping for a particular buyer. Guys, if you're doing that every day, there's no way you're not selling homes. The problem is you're not doing these bare minimum activities. You're just not.
Yeah, and then here's the thing. Let's talk about the whole shopping thing, okay? Because it's really bugging me where we are as real estate agents. Well, I'm not shopping if they're not pre-approved. Why? I really want to know that in the comments, guys. Why is everyone is saying that? I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to shop if they're not pre-approved. I get that part, but I want to understand: does everybody really subscribe to that mindset right now? I'm curious.
So
Drop it in the
I will
comments.
tell you, when I was active in production,
Mhm.
I got a lot of online leads, and most of the time they found a house that they really wanted to see. And oftentimes that house was under contract, like when I got the lead. Like as soon as I got the lead, I pull up the house, see where the house was, and it says it's under contract. I still took them out to see the house if I could.
Right.
Now, would I shop them and take them to see 30 houses? No.
No.
But would I make a point to meet them in an environment that I know would excite them and that I could build some rapport with them, because psychology says that, the first realtor that they see in person and meet in a house is who they associate with being their realtor. Absolutely. And half of y'all that are like, I ain't taking nobody out until I get a pre-approval letter. You don't have nothing else to do.
I,
You're not
fam. Here's the thing
doing
about that.
nothing.
I hear that. I hear that from some of my mentees who haven't done a deal yet. How do you get to the point of doing a deal? How do you move them down the path, guys? Think about this.
You have to do
The,
that. You
the
have to.
product is houses. The product is not behind a computer and just looking at pictures on Zillow or whatever. They can
Correct.
do that anytime without you.
Correct.
But when I go meet somebody in person, I have the confidence to know that I am going to understand by the time I finish that conversation, A, what their needs are, B, what their financial situation is, and really how serious that they are. And I can push them down the path of getting ready. If it's right around here in my area, for crying out loud, guys, if I'm going 5, 10 minutes down the road, even if they stand me up, man, okay, bet I'll make some phone calls. You can call leads from anywhere. Ain't none
Yeah.
of us tied to a landline. I mean, I
Nope.
don't understand that. If your open house flops, you can call leads. I had my mentee with me the other day at open house, and it started kind of slow, and then it got busier and busier and busier. When it was slow, he saw that myself and Vaughn was on the phones, making phone calls. He said, y'all used the entire time. Why should we let that time slip away? Guys, get in your database. Find the people who have been looking at houses in your database every single day online and say, hey, I would love to show you this house. Very simple. Call them, say, hey, how you doing, Johnson? This is Sasha Chapman. You have been on my website looking at houses and looking at houses. I would love to take you out to go see a couple of houses today or tomorrow. Can we go around 5 o'clock or pick a better time when it's not busy? 11
Correct.
o'clock, would that work for you? And they're like, I would love to see some. That's it. Well, I'm going to schedule out these two here. Are there any that you want to see? Anything like that? Very, very simple.
Yep.
Very simple.
It is. No. Amina says there's a difference between a paid online lead um, and like a warm social or sphere lead. And there's absolutely a difference. But I mean, you still need to take them out at least once.
Yeah.
That was my philosophy. Now, until they got pre-approved, was I going to spend a whole lot of time and gas running them around the whole city? No,
No,
no, absolutely
no,
not.
no, no. I'm
But
going to show you like three within a 3 mile radius, and we're going to
within
call.
the same
We're going
neighborhood,
to
right? I'm
figure
gonna
it
show
out.
you one or two. I'm gonna get you excited about the process. I'm gonna get you excited about the potential, right, of what can actually happen, and then that will typically push them to do it. Now, stop there. Don't drive yourself crazy showing houses. But guys, I don't see, like Sasha said, how you're even moving people. That's the problem. You guys aren't getting them excited about the process enough to even get up off the couch and call a loan officer or fill out that loan application, because you haven't even gotten them excited about the process. And the only thing that typically is going to get them excited about the process is, like Sasha said, the product is a house, and y'all aren't even taking them to see houses. Um, and so that's a very valid point, Sasha. I always showed houses, whether I
Always.
had the pre-approval letter or not. Like, I got realtor.com leads back in the day, had tons of them. And my first thing was, when can we meet? Like, let's go and meet this house as soon as possible. And I would take them out, meet them at the house, build some rapport, and they were mine. Like, hook, line, and sinker. They never went anywhere, after that. So that's definitely a really, really good tactic.
Right. And
Um,
Sam, I see this all the time. People trying to say anything with the CMAs. I will not send the CMA out unless I go to the house. Why?
why?
Do you know how many automatic CMA systems are out there for these people to go
Yeah,
to? They
like,
go to Redfin,
what
they go to
CMA ain't
Open Door,
fancy. It's not
Zillow.
special.
Yeah, that CMA takes you 3 minutes to do.
Right.
3 minutes. And we're sitting here holding like it's a pot of gold. Child, please. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Send them one. Let me say, send them one with a video of you on it explaining the CMA.
Yes.
Do that. They ain't
Yes.
seen that before. You do
Video
that.
CMA.
Show your personality on camera. Talk to them, push them and challenge them already, and leave them some nuggets to call you back. And
And it's
when they
super easy
do,
to do. I know somebody's gonna be like, oh my gosh, how do I do a video CMA? Using what we're using right now. Easiest way to do it,
okay,
StreamYard. Sasha, share a screen. Share a screen real quick. Get StreamYard. It costs $50 a month. You can run CMAs on your computer, share a
there you go.
screen. When you share a screen, your picture is still going to be right here on the side, and you can walk them through all of the properties and the CMAs and the pictures of the properties, and then email or text that link over to them so they can watch the video. They're seeing your face and they're seeing you walk through the actual comps.
Just that simple.
Is that simple?
Just literally just that simple.
Priscilla said, oh, it works. Got a listing appointment today with that. Like, guys, we
No
are
doubt.
giving you the tools. We are handing out free game and you're just not using it. There is no one at this point to blame for not being productive or having sales at this point beyond yourself. Like this is the craziest and hottest market that has ever existed in real estate. Like they're literally saying that this is historically the craziest market that has ever existed in the real estate world. And I mean, buyers out there are a dime a dozen. You know, it's really, you just got to get out there and put in the work and have the conversations. Which I want this to lead to something else, Sasha. Which I don't know that this
What's
was
that?
actually on the agenda.
Okay, go ahead.
But let's talk a little bit about those of you that are afraid to have sales conversations,
Ooh, I would love to bring somebody.
or
I would love to
or
bring somebody on for that.
those of you that suck at converting. So like you're getting leads, but then you
Mm-hmm.
don't really know what to say and you're not converting them to actual sales. Can I just tell you guys that the reason why is because you're selfish?
Ooh, tell them more.
And I want
Tell
to
them
unpack
more.
that. You're selfish because instead of being consumed with how your service and your knowledge and your product can change their lives and how you can serve them, you're worried about how dumb you're going to look if you don't know the answer to a question.
Mm.
You're worried about what you should say, what you can and can't say, instead of being worried about solving their problems. So I say that you're selfish because you frame these conversations around you and your insecurities and who you are, and you make it about you when it should be about the client. And if you're that worried
Yeah.
about not having the confidence, then that comes because you aren't prepared and a lack of preparedness. And so then that's all on you. And so I've been having a lot of conversations with agents that are saying that to me, like, well, okay, now I'm getting leads, but I don't know what to say, blah, blah, blah. And I just flat out tell them, like, you're selfish. You don't know what to say because you were thinking about you. You're not thinking about
Mm-hmm.
who you're actually here to serve. And I want you guys to frame that when you're scared to make that next video, when you're afraid to have that next conversation, when you're afraid to make that next social media post. I want you to stop and think why you're afraid to make it, which 99.999% of the time it's because of you and your insecurity. And I want you to check yourself at the door and say, I'm here and I got in this business to do this job and to be in this career so I can serve and help others. I need to get my shit together and do what I'm here for.
Amen. Amen. Give yourself, guys, permission to fail. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to know every single thing. It's okay to say, you know what, I don't know. Let me go figure that out and get back with you.
Oh, yeah.
I guarantee you they will respect you more for saying, I don't know that one. Let me go figure it out. Never seen that one before. And say, I got people to talk to. I've
Yep.
been doing that since the beginning of me starting real estate. Now I come off as a very confident individual. I always have been that way, but I'm not afraid to say, I don't know. I got to go figure that one out. And then go back to them and figure it out and come back and give them the proper answer or get them connected with someone who has the answer if it's a lending question or whatever.
Yep.
No one expects you to know everything. Who has gone to a primary care doctor and starts complaining about their heart or their liver and expects that primary care doctor to diagnose the fact that they're about to have a heart attack.
Ooh, I like that. What do? They
What do
send your
they
ass to the
do?
cardiologist.
Exactly. They refer you on out. We have specialist guys in our network. We have short sale queens. We got process guys. We got people who run teams. We got people who recruit agents all day, every single day. We have people all around within the Money Badger network for you to tap into and ask them. I can't tell you how many times I call McKenna and say, McKenna, I don't know how to do a reel. I suck at it. And then she tells me how to do it. I'm like, oh, okay, then I feel dumb. But now I know how to do something. And she
Right.
tells me
Or
that.
me seeing
Well,
Amina's cool ass events and calling Amina and saying, Amina, what are you doing? Like, how was the setup? Like, what did it look like to like get all of this done? What was the back end? And her kind of talking you through that, you know? Me calling you and saying, Sasha, I like this process that you have. Like, how did you build this out? How did you connect all of these systems together? Because y'all just aren't asking the questions. And unfortunately, as leaders, our job is to lead you, not save you. Some of y'all want to
say
be
that again.
saved, and we can only lead, but we can only lead you if we know what your problems are. And then once we know what your problems are, then we can help you solve them. And you've
Right.
got to come to us to be led, not saved, and let us know what it is that you need to be led to. And
Yeah.
that is what I think is a huge issue with a lot of your businesses.
Let me just say this, man. I was talking to an agent, yesterday. Man, in fact, I was talking to an agent yesterday that she put in for the offer for my particular listing and didn't get it, right? From a totally different brokerage. And then she started talking to me about EXP and started talking about all the issues and problems that she's having where she's at. And I'm like, so what are you going to do? Well, I'm thinking about moving. I'm thinking about it, but I don't know. I said, so you've already wasted 1 quarter without getting support. You already wasted an entire first quarter this year, and you tell me you haven't liked it for the past 2 years. And you're going to keep giving them more time, energy of not being successful?
Right.
And I just told her, say, is this your business or not? And here's the thing, guys. The conversation was me was supposed to be me telling her that her client didn't get the offer. And it turned into me coaching her and just challenging him like, so you're gonna keep staying where you are and not getting done what you need to get done, or are you gonna do something different? So I'm asking you, are you going to do something different? And are you going to simplify your business and make it happen? It's your business. And I want for every mentee, if I have a mentee on here right now, and or anyone I'm coaching, understand this. I don't care as much about your business as you do. I can never care as much about your business as you do. If I care more about your business than you, that is a huge problem. That's a you problem. That says you don't care enough about your business. Understand that. We like you guys and we help a lot of people out, but at the end of the day, I'm balling. I'm straight. I'm good. I'm
You
selling a lot of houses.
selling
My
the
thing is
houses.
doing fine. You know what I'm saying? I just closed on my house in August. I'm good. About to go buy my wife a new car. Well, hopefully she didn't see this part, but whatever. But that's what we're doing. Okay. If you're not able to live the life that you want to live in your business and you're not getting things done the way you want to get them done, you are responsible. You are the problem and you are your own solution.
Absolutely.
Period. Real
Absolutely.
talk.
I love that. Did you guys have any questions? Pop them in. We don't want to just talk at you.
No,
We
we
really
don't.
wanted this. Sasha and I are, for those of you that aren't in Dallas Fort Worth, we are, and it is extremely cold. And now a lot of schools, or most of them, aren't all of them closed tomorrow because of the
Pretty
road?
much.
Yeah. So we are snowed slash iced in again. And so we're like, you know what? Let's bang out some lives and let's talk to the people, give them what they
Yeah.
want. So, what questions do you guys
Y'all
have?
put these questions in there, but
And
while y'all
scroll
put
up.
these questions in there,
Sasha, pop it up on the screen if you want. Again, that StreamYard link, and scroll up in the comments if you guys want to hop on here and powwow with us and actually talk. Don't be scared.
yes,
Hop
please do. I
on here
think I
and
had
talk
somebody
with
who
us
was
as
waiting to
well.
get in and it took too long. So let me just say this real quick, guys. Tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow, everyone's going to be home. People ain't going to work. How many buyer consultations could you do?
Call
How many Zoom buyer consultations could you do tomorrow?
them.
I'm just curious. I'm just curious because I'm going to be doing them all day. Puppy not going to
I'm
daycare. My
talking to
wife
all
won't be here.
agents
Kids won't be
tomorrow.
here. All right. I'm going to go fill up my pipeline. Recommendation on the percentage a buyer should offer? Shell, great. Hey, Shell, you was in the studio. Can you come back in real quick? Let's have that conversation. That's a great question, right? Ooh, let me just say that, Shell, I don't know what market you're in. So if you can get in here, we can have this conversation real quick. Um, Here's the deal, guys. That gap is growing. Let's talk about DFW. Let's talk about DFW. All right. I just put a house on the market for $260,000, which is at the top of the comps. Okay. Was at the very top of the comps in that subdivision. I marketed the crap out of this house. We did a very good job from that perspective. Our clients liked it, they loved it, etc. The house went for $40,000 over asking price. Now, it is not going to appraise. There's no way it's going to appraise, but that's what happened. All right. So it's a very difficult thing to ask, but let's talk about the terms you can put in your contract. All right. Shell,
Yes, sir.
is how you doing, Shell?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm good. I can't complain. So,
Good.
Shell, where are you from?
Forward.
You're in Fort Worth as well. Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So let's talk about it. Your question was about the percentages that people should offer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking market by market. Any type of buyer.
Right. I mean, she has cash. She have cash. Like I put in roughly about 10 offers,
Mm-hmm.
um, averaging anywhere from 10 to 12% over listing.
Okay.
Doing a partial waiver, but just
Hold on,
haven't been
for
successful.
let's simplify it. Give me some math on that because I'm not computing in my head here. So give me one example when you lost. Like the price was what you offered
The
what?
price was 275.
Mm-hmm.
We offered 302, 27,000 over asking.
Mhm.
Yep.
Um, Asked that the house appraised for at least 270.
Wait a minute. Go
And
back right there. You asked for it to appraise at least at 270.
mhm,
What kind of buyer did you have? What's the
a
financing?
conventional.
Conventional.
Mhm.
And so what it sounds like to me, correct me if I'm wrong, you didn't waive the appraisal that you said a partial waiver that the house needs at least coming at 270 for them to move forward.
Correct.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you right now, I do a lot of listings. That was the issue.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the
That was
partial
the issue.
waiver.
I mean,
Okay.
and understand that deal would have made it probably this time last year.
Right.
Okay. But come August of 2021, that was gone. We are in a heavy cash, heavy
Okay.
conventional market with full
Mhm.
appraisal waivers, guys. Now
Yeah.
you have to educate your people accordingly. Whether they can do that or not is a very, very weird thing. All right. It's up to if they can do it. But I'm gonna tell you what I'm seeing is 30, 40,000 over asking. I'm seeing people waive appraisals all day, every day. And we're
Waive
seeing large
waive
scale
option
cash
period.
buyers come
They're waiving
in.
option period, Shell. They're putting $10,000 earnest deposits down on $200,000 houses. Like it's the wild, wild west. I think that your buyer is coming correct. Like that's it's just such a crapshoot, especially in that price range.
Mhm.
It's just a very popular price range, and where that used to be like an average price point for people that had jobs and saved
Right.
up, and it was like a no, like now we just got investors coming out here throwing around cash. Like
Mhm.
that's not even anything anymore. Like that's like 275 is the new 100,000.
Mhm.
And so it's, I mean, I would see if do they have cash? Like, do they have some cash to actually go significantly over and waive the appraisals?
Right. That was the 27,000. That was
So,
not cash.
But
so
you
what
did,
I
but you
would
also did a
say,
protection, right?
I'm sorry.
But they got the 27,000 to waive it, but you also said you did a protection if the house had to at least praise at 270.
Correct.
So you didn't they really didn't waive it. In my eye as a listing agent, you either waive it completely and then you show me that you got the cash, or show me a
Okay.
bank statement or a check, something that shows that you got the money.
Yeah, we showed
But when
that.
you say you want to do partial,
A
you're up
partial
against right
waiver.
now, Shell. Here's the thing: we're all up against in this market.
Okay.
Cash offers that's guaranteed, or conventional offers
yeah,
with
they're just big.
full appraisal waivers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So partial waiving is just, especially if they got the cash.
But
If
what
they
I would
don't
say,
have the
Shell,
cash,
too, is if they have cash, what we've been finding is like, while everybody wants to say every single house is flying off the shelf, they're not.
no.
There's some houses that aren't flying off the shelf.
Okay.
And for those clients that really, really need a house, and they got a little bit of cash, why not put them in a house that's been on the market a little bit longer, which typically means there's something a little bit wrong with it, or it may not be the prettiest house. But if they got the cash to fix it, why not walk into a situation like that, into one of those, put that extra 30,000 that they were willing to pay over asking on another one that's already done, and then get this one up to par.
Okay.
Right.
So maybe do your MLS search on homes that have been on the market for like 14 days or more, and see what you come up with to take them to, and just give them that strategy. Like, look, we didn't put in all these offers and we can't get these nice pretty ones that you want by going over. Why don't we take that money that you were willing to go over, since you got the cash in your pocket, buy one of these that might need some carpet or need some paint or whatever, and then we put that 27,000 into that, and you're actually walking into an instant equity situation.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you.
And I'll just say this: when it comes to that, there's a lot of houses that are staying on the market because people are getting too greedy out the front. People saying, like, people will see the example what I just did over in that particular neighborhood, and then other agents jump, oh, I'm going to go 300,000 because this guy got this.
Yeah.
Learn to do your comps, guys, because when I do comps, I look at the financing, and if I see the neighborhood cash, I know what really happened. But if I see FHA, VA, conventional FHA, I know there's an appraisal involved in that. Okay. So you got to kind of do your comps and do your analysis from that perspective so you understand what's happening, right? And if you go too high, you'll scare people away because everyone expects everything to go 20, 30,000 over.
Yeah. Right. That is true. D says, I have waived appraisal, but still went back to negotiate when it came in.
I'm not sure what that means.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Well, Cheryl, did we get all your questions?
I did. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to bring D in real quick.
Okay.
Hold up. Thank you, Cheryl. Hey, well, Cheryl, if you're still listening, you should join us for some of our masterminds that we do as well. To the more planned out and scheduled, we'll get that information out. Okay. Hey, D.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Listen, I was working out while I have y'all on the thing. I was not trying to be on camera because I'm literally in a.
You're good. We're good to hear your voice.
We hear you.
But I was just commenting to her issue where you guys were telling her problem was that she was doing partial waivers. And I was just agreeing, saying that I've written offers. It doesn't work every time, but I've written offers where I did a full appraisal waiver, but I still went back to the listing agent even when it came in. Now, of course, the listing agent starts off with, but y'all waived the appraisal. And I'm like, that's cool, but do we want to get this deal done? So I was just making that comment to say, get the offer in there, and have it be good, have the terms tight, build that relationship with the listing agent. And even though I've done it a couple of times, right? And it's like, I know that we waived it, but we came in 60K under. So we got to do something.
Yeah.
So I was just giving that comment for the previous person y'all had on.
Agreed.
But you bring up a real good point, because it leads me to this, guys. When it comes down to getting these appraisal waivers and all this stuff like that, let me tell you something. I talked to a lot of buyer's agents this past weekend. Okay. See, one reason why people are losing out there is not just because of appraisal waivers. I had people that were over what we're selling this particular home for. The problem was they were not into the financing. Okay. I got these agents started talking to me, and once they started talking, one started telling me, well, they need to file their taxes, they need to do this, they need to do that. What the hell? No, that don't sound like a guaranteed deal, right? People are writing things that look good on paper, but when you ask them and you press them as a listing agent to prove to me you got the money, show me a bank statement. Okay, let me talk to the lender. Why you got 21 days in financing? You're not getting anything in 21 days in financing right now, guys. Period.
No,
that's not strong. I'm gonna tell you, 14 days is not strong. And if you're
gotta get them pre-underwritten,
right? If you'll understand they need that, you got the wrong partner.
Yep.
All my lenders know that you need to have this financing down to 5 days and under with me. So I want to be able to do this and go into pending at the same time with the listing agent on. When we get out of option period, we're going into pending, and it's a strong, tight financial deal.
Yep.
Because everyone's not going to waive option and all that stuff. Okay, guys? Understand that.
Agreed.
That you got to have the right partner, so you're tight all around the block. And then when you get a good listing agent that starts asking these questions, I uncover the truth. Sometimes it's about some of these buyers agents lost the deal for their people because they couldn't shut up. They let me get them talking, and then they told me too much. And you guys know the saying, scratch a liar, you find a thief.
Mm-hmm.
Found a whole
Yeah.
lot of them.
And they talk themselves out of the deal sometimes. But no,
Right out of it.
on those on the financing days, you are 100% right. I am actually, guys, y'all know I don't really sell houses much anymore, but with my flips, because oftentimes I help place these people that we buy their homes into another house. Those are the people that I tend to shop. And so I'm shopping one right now, and I'm not even taking her to see a house until the lender has her all the way through underwriting. So essentially, they do a full underwriting on her file, and then the property is just TBD. So then when we go and put in an offer on a property, she has 0 financing contingency days. She's as good as cash, even though she's actually an FHA buyer.
Right.
And so, these are things that you guys really need to be considering, to use as strategies to come in and help your people, is get with a lender that can do that, because they're literally putting her all the way through the underwriting process. So, I mean, they're doing the employment verification, they're pulling the tax transcripts, they're doing all the things, and she will be fully approved. Other than, we'll have to find a house. She'll have to have the appraisal. She will have to get homeowners insurance, and that's it. And then we're
Right.
done.
I don't know. Is a lender talking about they still get 30? I know
No,
you guys
that's
talking about 30.
Amina. That's Amina. Amina
Oh,
said, even though they waived it, damn, we ain't that bad. I still get 30. Yep. So yeah, that's all Amina.
30 days, Mina? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, in Tampa, she said they're not as bad as us, that
Oh,
they still are
Lord.
getting 30 days on financing contingencies.
I need to go
Yeah.
find me some people
Chauncey,
down in
in
Florida.
your example that you just mentioned where you have your client go through underwriting already, how are you submitting the offer once she's done with that?
Just submit it like a regular offer, but on the third party financing addendum, on the buyer approval days, just put 0.
Got it. And you can also check this offer is not contingent on financing.
Correct.
As well. Okay, got it.
Correct. Yep.
Yep.
I'm gonna tell you guys, when it comes down to it, when I literally see that people got these financing days and it's super duper crazy long, I'm like, okay, well, all right.
No.
I mean, don't on a $260,000 house, you write up an offer that says 300 or $285,000 or whatever, but then you got 22 days in financing. What you doing?
No.
What you doing? I mean, that's
Not gonna
talk
take
to your client and talk to your lender about that. And so here's the deal. Here's the scenario. I literally had an agent, fam, argue me down. Somebody, well, we need these days. I'm like, why? You got me a full appraisal waiver, and you're telling me you still need
Right.
14 days. Why do you need 14 days?
Yeah.
And he said, well, and it was a little bit insulting. He said, well, I don't know if you have several businesses, but they have several businesses. I'm like, first thing, child, you don't know who you're talking to. All right. That's number one. 2, I'm going to let you have this one. This one. The second time, I'm going to get you. All right. 2, what does that have to do with anything? And as they kept talking, realized, well, they got several businesses and they haven't even
They have to file their
filed
taxes.
Or you pre-approved or you pre-qualified. And the lender's like,
They gotta file taxes.
right. And here's the lender starts telling me, well, Sasha, that's going to be very hard. That's very difficult. And it's like, well,
We can't take your offer.
we need to have this time so we can get into the file. I'm like, no, you're up against cash. This is competition.
Right.
This is not about me caring what your buyer is trying to do for them. I'm looking out for the seller. You're up against a cash offer. Understand the competition when you write your offers, guys. If your offer is not competitive, then there you go.
Yeah. So those are definitely some strategies that you guys need to employ and put in there. So get your buyers completely underwritten if you can. That is a really, really big one right now, because then that means that they're as good as cash, even though they're not technically cash. That helps a lot.
All right. Hey, D, hit me up. My phone number is 817-668-0311. I'll get you hooked up with some of my people. You just got to stay out of my territory, though. Okay, you can't be coming up over here to North Fort Worth trying to take houses from me. Ain't going to go down like that.
Sure.
No worries.
Hit me up, we'll be all right. I'll help you out.
Yeah, pass it on to D. Because D's a closer. D will come snatch up all of Fort Worth. D has been killing it out here.
Yes, yes.
Well, we've been on here for a while, Sasha. It's been almost an hour. I hope you guys
Oh,
enjoyed
Lord.
it tonight. We will have some more trainings coming up this week. All the kiddos were out on Monday, so we did not do our weekly training, but we will resume on Monday. And training for me, for the Money Badger group, will be sales and sales conversion focused for the rest of the month. We'll just be talking a lot about sales. Looking for a good special guest. So if you guys know of anyone that's really, really good with sales, that's a really, really good closer, like send them my way. I would love to have them on. And they do not even have to be in the real estate industry. So we're looking for some guest speakers for the rest of the month, or at least for like the next 2 to 3 weeks. So we will see you guys on Monday for training. Sasha, are you going to have any type of special training next week as well?
Let me get that off the screen. Next week, I think I got my downline training coming up here on the 1st and 3rd. So the third Tuesday at 7 p.m. We're going to be having another training session that's coming up. I believe that we're going over open houses this time around and how you can maximize open houses and how you can use that to build your business. I'm going to get my calendar out for everybody so you guys can see the calendar, right? And we'll go from there, guys. Because I will tell you right now, if you are struggling trying to figure out leads, you need to get your butt out there and do some open houses. You need to get some open houses. You need
So
demos and
many
do those
people are coming to
way
open houses, man. Open
way.
houses are a gold mine right now. It's lines out the door at open houses in DFW right now.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't have business, you need to be on getting some open houses right now.
Yeah. And so when I do that training, I'm going to share with you guys the process that we use to get people there, 2, how you process them, 3, how you follow up. Okay. While we're in the open house training, at the open house, we get people in a buyer ecosystem right away. You have to get people on your stuff. And when I mean by your stuff, I'm talking about if you got a buyer guide, you got a YouTube channel, your website, whatever, get them into your system so they start seeing you everywhere and you become their realtor psychologically.
Yep.
Okay. That's what we're going to be going over. So, real quick, guys, that's it. Let's see if we can get this going. 1-day challenge. Okay. Simplify your business. 1 buyer to your lender every single day. Okay. To get pre approved. 2, send 1 CMA every single day to 1 seller. And number 3, go shop 1 buyer in your database every single day, whether they're pre approved or not. Push them down the process of getting ready. It's your business. You can do this.
Love it.
All right, guys. We've been on a lot longer than we thought it was going to be. Peace.
This is
All right.